Welcome to Megabucks Radio. Conversations with successful entrepreneurs, sharing their tips and strategies for success. Real-world ideas that can put megabucks in your bank account. Here's your host, Nina Hershberger.
Well, welcome to today's show. This is your host, Nina Hershberger. And today I have a long-term friend of mine, an extraordinary marketer. That's what my channel is all about, is marketing. And my guest today is Ron Romano. And Ron's background started in the retail business. He worked for his father selling appliances and color television when he finished college. Ron, you don't know this, but my husband and I didn't get our first color television till after we've been married for 12 years, because I'm not much of a television watcher.
Wow.
But in less than a year, he became the top seller. He moved on into the ranks. His father passed away, and so Ron went into the telecommunications business, became a VP, promoted into the business as a president. He's got lots and lots of background, and ultimately he worked with in the GKIC world, the Glazer Kennedy Inner Circle world, and did a 2-year project with them until about that time they had sold the business and was taken over by somebody else. But the part that when I first met Ron, is when he was in a systems business that was providing toll-free recorded messages, voice and fax broadcasting. I didn't know you did landing pages and website, Ron, but, you know, those were the days when we could do those things. I don't think we can do some of those things anymore. But anyway, Ron, welcome to today's show.
Well, thank you very much, Nina. It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah, you know, so let's start there. Do people still use toll-free recorded messages?
It is really rare that they use them, but you know, like back in the 90s when we started out, the internet was just starting. People didn't know how to use it as a marketing tool. They knew how to use it for pornography very well, but as a marketing tool, you know, that took a little while. So marketers would use toll-free recorded messages. They'd use voice broadcasting, fax broadcasting. They'd use offline ads, driving them to toll-free recorded messages for a free report, a consumer's guide, especially in the real estate industry, to check out listings. So you'd have to talk to a real estate agent. And that was kind of the go-to marketing system. And then, you know, when you get to the end of the 90s and the early 2000s, then the website stuff started coming in. You know, the landing pages, the direct response marketing websites, which were sort of totally different than normal websites. So it just kind of expanded into all kinds of areas like that.
Well, and the whole purpose is, I mean, you said it just a moment ago, they didn't have to speak to a salesperson. They didn't want to get sold. They wanted information. They wanted to kind of kick the tires, know whether or not you had some answers that might solve the problem they had, which is what a direct response landing page does these days.
Yes, that's correct. But it's incorporated with not just the landing page, it's incorporated with an offer or a multi-step follow-up system, you know, because one of anything doesn't work as well as a multi-step system. And that's where most people fall down. They say, I'm going to do this one thing, and that's going to make me money, so that's what I'm going to do. And then...
Yeah, they're looking for that silver bullet, aren't they?
They are looking for that silver bullet without understanding the concept of testing, reading reports. Like, as Dan said, marketing is just psychology and numbers. That's all it is. So you've got to watch your numbers. Good business people watch the numbers of their marketing.
Now, Ron, I know you're a big person. Well, first of all, after you left the special project with GKIC, you have for the last few years, 12 years, 15 years, 20, however many years, you have your own consulting business. So you do work with businesses one-on-one. Would you call them as you're almost like you're the director of marketing in their business?
That's a good description. I become, their VP of marketing. And to do that, you really have to understand their company. And that's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy finding out, like what that company does, who they are, what's their personality, what's the company character, what are they selling, where are they making their money, what are they doing, what are they not doing? How can we incorporate systems into it that are integrated, and how can we create something that we can use in multiple areas? So take, for example, an email. Let's say, a client's got a good customer base and they want to build a relationship with a client. And so everyone says, well, I should be doing email marketing. Email marketing is going to be great. That's what I need to be doing. It's going to make me a fortune. Well, if you want to do email marketing, first of all, you have to understand that it's to build the relationship with those people in your herd or in your group. And so that's what you want to do. You, again, tell the story, give them helpful tips, recognize certain days of the year, whether it's Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever that is. Help them to become better community members. Maybe every Thanksgiving, have a food drive. Do different things that is not selling up front. The selling is below it. And that's how you build your base. But you can take content from an email, you can change a few words, and that becomes a blog. And when it's a blog, now Google likes that because you're putting new content, and of course you're going to have keyword words related to what people would be searching for in that content. So now it's new content. Google likes it. It's coming at a regular basis. They're going to bump up your rankings for those keywords. And you can, if you have a WordPress website, you can do a plugin. Just add a plugin to it, and it'll take the blog. It'll cross-post it through your social media sites. So it'll cross-post it to Facebook. It'll cross-post it to Twitter, Instagram. So you can do a lot of things with it. And on your social media pages, you've got links back to your website, which, again, Google likes. So you've created one content. You can put it in an email, which turns to a blog, which turns to social media posts, which in turn can be content for the website, if it's some sort of offer as well. You can incorporate that. So you're not doing multiple things. You're doing one thing and really leveraging that. As business people need to leverage their time.
I'm just writing down what I'm hearing you say. First of all, you started about the personality of the business and the mindset of the owner, and systematizing and repurposing and having a plan. I mean, I can imagine that the business owners that you deal with say, Ron, I don't know what to do. I don't have time. I'm busy running my business. You don't understand. I mean, I can hear all of the objections and all of the things.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Does it start, so when you say you start out trying to figure out who the company is, what do they sell, what's their personality, what's their culture? How do you do that?
Well, I have a series of about 40 or 50 questions which I get the client involved in, because I have to understand the products and what products they're selling, how much money they're making on the products, where's their highest value products, what percentage of the business is that, what problems do your products solve for those customers, what's the demographics of your customers, who's your competition, what do they look like, and then you get a pretty good feel for, okay, well, do you have any current marketing? What have you been doing in the past? What's been working? What hasn't been working? So now I become part of that business. So now it's like, this business is mine. I own this business. What am I going to do? And so having been in the business for so long and, just been involved in so many different niches with over 25 different marketing gurus, you really know all the things that people do. And so you can take from one business and apply it to another business and then help them make money. Let me give you an example. I recently started doing business with a marina. And this particular fellow had a single-page website. He's on a lake. He's got 4 to 6 months to make money, and that's pretty much it. And so he does a lot for his clients, besides selling gas and life preservers and, pumping out septic systems and opening and closing cottages on islands, providing a taxi service. Nobody knows what he's doing unless he tells them, because he doesn't have it posted anywhere. So the easiest first thing to do is make sure that all of his products and services are on his website. And you'd be surprised at the number of people I talk to that don't have all their products and services on their website. They just got some of them. But in finding out all of his products and services, and this is going over the course of, I spent a couple of months with this gentleman going over the entire business model, because you can't understand a business in a day or a week. You've really got to get into it with somebody. I found out that what he does is he will go out in the lake if someone runs out of gas or somebody hits a rock, knocks their propeller out, or their battery dies. They'll phone him up, and he'll go out and go get them. And he says, I really enjoy doing that. And I said, okay, great. How many of those do you do a year? And he would say, over the course of the boarding system, I do a couple, 3, 4. And I says, well, that's great. How much do you make? He says, well, a couple $100 and that's it. So he wanted to grow his business like everybody. And so you take a look at the easiest, lowest priced, lowest hanging fruit that's out there that usually doesn't cost a lot of money. And so I said to him, well, you have a product here. You have a service here. And I'm looking at it, and after examining what he does and really going into exactly all the things that he does with that, I said, this is just like the AAA. It's exactly the same, only it's on a lake. There's no difference. So we have to get people to understand what it's like. So it has to be similar to the AAA. It's got to look like it, feel like it, smell like it. Everything's got to be the same. So I said, let's call it the BAA. That way, there's a point that they can relate to. And he says, great. He says, what's BAA? And I said, I don't know. We got to find 3 words that go BAA. After a little bit of figuring out, it was the Boaters Assistance Association. It was great. Now, we copied the AAA and had different levels of membership. And we added, value to it and added discounts for this and discounts for that. And the top package sold at $297 for a 4-month period. And I said, that's great. Now let's put it all to your members. We do a couple of emails, and in the first month, we sold 28 members at $300, without doing much at all. So he increased his revenue in 30 days from 0 to over $6,000. And that's just the start. I said, now we have to put up in marina posters. We have to train the staff, and we have to position you as you're interested in boater safety and boater protection. So you should be running boater emergency and safety courses. That's what you need to run in your business. And I said, and you do it for free. You have an hour or 2-hour class. We put it out to people on the lake. They'll come out. They'll send their kids out or whatever. And at the end of it, we can sell them the BAA. We can also sell them life preservers. We can also sell them emergency kits, flares, all kinds of things associated with safety. In fact, we can sell them a one-on-one safety course that you'll take an hour, run them through a safety course, and you'll charge them $300-400. It's a good investment of an hour of your time. We can train one of the staff members. They can do it. You're paying them $20-25 an hour. We'll charge $300, $400, $500, you're going to make money on that. So your positioning is different. And I said, now with that, what else can we do? They come up for gas every single time that they need gas for their boat. I says, have the person look inside the boat, see how many life preservers they have, see if they have a baler, if they have a safety kit. Educate your staff on what this involves. Doing that, that'll increase your sales. and you're not doing anything different than what you should be doing, and it's not costing you a lot of money, we're just training your staff to do this. Now we create a boating safety month, and we post that at local, like sort of convenience stores, people that would go out in the area to general stores and pick these things up. We hire a college kid to go around the lake and drop off pamphlets at the different docks of the cottages around here. That's low cost, no cost marketing. Now from there, we take it and I said, Randy, you have people on the lake who rent boats. In fact, you rent boats out there. I said, now we create a corporate division for the BAA, take that, charge them more money because it's now corporate and they may have multiple boats out there, but you're going to look after it should any one of their boaters be in trouble. So you're taking all that responsibility off of them because they're not located on the lake. They're located off the lake, and they don't want the responsibility of going out and rescuing somebody when they're in trouble, or they run out of gas, or they do something silly because they're a boat renter and they don't know. Now from there, we added boat tracking systems, GPS tracking systems. So if there's an emergency, we'll know exactly where you are. We provide them 3 that are low cost. They hardly cost anything. And we charge them a monthly continuity fee. So now we have multiple streams of income. We have a whole new business that we can break off from the marina that we could sell privately. We could, add it to other lakes and do exactly like the AA does and just hire people to go out and do the rescue or, filling up tanks or helping boaters out. We pay them a fee. We can franchise it. We can do a lot of things with it. And we haven't even touched the marina yet as far as the marketing goes. So all this was really exciting and it was fun. And we started out with just a simple idea or a simple service that he was providing and turned that into a whole new business.
No, but it was a simple process or a service he was providing, but that he liked doing.
Yes.
I heard you say that as well. So
yes.
Here's what I wrote down from what I heard you say. So first of all, Dan also always talks about naming stuff. And so you figured out what that BAA was going to be. You gave it a name.
Yes.
And then you created a membership and a continuity out of that membership. You upsold, people into that kind of stuff. You sold, and so that if they got life jackets or whatever, you added new products, new services. Now you could possibly franchise or license the a concept to other locations. And then, of course, all at the same time, you're increasing the value of that company should he ever want to exit that business and sell it. Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
But most people don't see the hidden opportunities in their business because they see what they're doing every single day. And that's the advantage of someone coming in, like yourself or me, someone coming in and saying, wow, what are you doing here? Oh, that's interesting. What else can you do? It's just something that as marketers we're in tune with, whereas business owners have a different focus on their business.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I mean, elite athletes all have a coach. There's not one of them who says, I got it. I don't need anybody. No, they're all, they take films and their videos and they're looking for just that slight edge. And you ask the questions and you do things that he would have never thought. Obviously, he had not thought. How old was his business before you arrived?
30 plus years old.
There you go.
Yeah. And he's been doing the same thing every single year. Business was increasing, incrementally because costs were going up, prices were going up, so his business was going up slightly. But he didn't have the bump in his business. And things were just sitting there. I have to tell you one interesting thing which just drove me nuts about this client. He's a marina, and right next to where people come up and pay for things, he has this humidor for cigars. Stands about 7 foot tall, and he's selling cigars. And he said, yeah, it doesn't cost me anything. One of my customers came in and said, hey, will you put this in here? I'm not going to charge you for any. I'll give you a percentage of cigar sales. I said, Randy, how much money do you make a week in cigars? $10? $20? He says, yeah, maybe. He says, well, Randy, that's costing you a lot of money. He says, no, it's for free. I said, it's for free. It's not costing me anything. I said, Randy, that's prime area. You could be selling a lot of stuff there because it's right by the till. And you're not, because you got a humidor there. Get it out. You know, it's just the mindset that you run into that really prevents people from getting to where they want to go. They know where they want to go. They don't know how to get there. I just fill the gaps for them.
Kudos to him, though, that he at least recognized after 30 years he didn't want it to stay the same. I wonder,
yes.
what was the thing that actually turned the corner for him?
I'm not quite sure, but I store my boats there, and so I store my watercraft there. And Randy likes to talk, and so I was talking to him, one day, and just asking him questions like, hey, where do you make your money here? You got a gold mine here. And he says, oh, well, it's not really a gold mine. He says they do the same stuff year in, year out, and it's a living. I said, Randy, you're sitting on a gold mine. He says, well, how so? And I said, well, here, look at this. There's cross sells, there's upsells, there's all kinds of stuff that you can be doing. I said, have you raised your prices for boat storage? Like, I came here because you were 20% less than the last guy was storing my boat at. You should be charging me more. And he says, yeah. That's one of the first things we did. We upped the boat storage price by a couple $100. So all of a sudden you take 400 people that are storing boats. You raise it $100. That's a lot extra revenue.
And did he lose any customers when he did that?
Didn't lose one. He is totally sold out for storage. He doesn't have any more storage room. So it's like he looks at me now as I was free. Whatever I do for him now, I'm free because he makes more money than what he was doing when he wasn't paying somebody like me to help him get to where he wants to go.
And the bottom line is his business is now more valuable. So when he is ready to retire, to exit, to whatever, not only did you help him make more money through the years and months that you worked with him, he gets more money when it's time to sell.
Exactly. His business has more valuable. And I helped him get his summertime help on a bonus structure so that the more the marina sells, they get a certain percentage. They'll get like $50 extra, $100 extra, $150 extra, but it's based on sales. And so now they're eager to sell BAA memberships. They're eager to look in the boat to see if the guy's got life jackets, or they're eager to listen to the motor when it's coming in, if it's sputtering, if it needs a tune-up, or they need a new motor. Like they're eager to help their customers, get better, or be more safety conscious. And at the same time, they're helping Randy build his business. And it didn't cost him anything. But he would never do that. He wouldn't train anybody. They just, like when I first went in, they all stand around. Look at me, smile. I'm paying your wages. I got more money to give.
Well, and you're not doing the bonuses probably are a monthly or weekly, but they're not at the end of the year. They're getting bonuses rewarded all along.
Yes, they are. They're getting bonuses monthly, which they feel good about it, and then they push each other because, we have, it's structured so it's a group bonus, but it's also based on individual performance as well. So if one person is selling everything and one guy's not, he's going to get more of a bonus than the other guy.
So does he have in the break room, does he have some sort of chart so they even know how it's going through the month?
Oh yeah. That's like I said, you gotta know your numbers, and so these people are responsible for writing down their numbers. When they do that, life jacket or flares or emergency kit, or they sell a BA membership, or they get someone on a continuity program with a GPS tracker for the boat. It's all marked down. We know exactly to the exact service that's provided, how much it sold for, what the profit levels were. So we know what we can afford to pay them. But that's in every single business. There are so many low cost, no cost strategies that they can use. That I have to tell you about one client I had, and this is really interesting because for years, people would ask me, just give me the one thing that I can do. Just give me the one thing that I can do. It's going to make me the $1 million. And for years, I kept on saying, I can't give you the one thing, because if it was one thing, everyone would be doing the one thing. It's usually a multiple of things. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. It's integrated with this. It flows over here. It does everything. But I had one client, and they had been with me for a number of years, and then they didn't need me anymore. She had a perfectly good business, and what she was doing is she was selling online. She would generate online leads, and then she would sell them to insurance companies. So she had a website. She was on TV. She had the people from the TV stations give her free airtime because she would give them a percentage of sales. So it didn't cost her anything to do that. She had sponsors who would help her because she was doing car insurance, which led into home insurance. So, she had car repair shops and things like that who would also be sponsors for her, which was great. And then she sold her business. One of the newspapers that was she was joint venturing with wanted to buy the business, and they gave her a really good offer for the business, and they took it. But in there was a kicker. And the kicker was that you stay for a year, and if you double the business in a year, we'll give you an extra $1 million. And so she phoned me up right away. And she said, Ron,
yes.
here's the deal, Ron. She says, I get $1 million if I double my business in a year. What do I need to do? Now,
she wanted the one thing.
She wanted the one thing. Now, if I didn't know the business, and this is key, if I didn't know the business, I would have said, okay, well, you got to get more and more marketing out there. You got to do more referral programs. You got to capture more email addresses. Like there's 30 things I could give her to do, and it would all be a test. And we'd have to see how many people are being added to the system every single month to see how we're going to double the business. And I said, well, we got a year. We don't have time. I said, Believe, how much do you sell your leads for? She says, $6.80. I says, okay. How much is the average sale an insurance company makes? She says, it's well over $1,000.
Double.
I said, okay. I said, well, okay, this is easy. Double the cost of your leads. Yeah. She says, that's it? And I says, yeah, that's it, because you can do it. Because the insurance companies will still pay to buy that lead. She doubled the price. She sold the same amount of it. She made an extra $1 million. She did the one thing. Yeah. So it can be done, but you have to understand the business. You have to understand where they are, what they're doing, who their customer is. You have to understand all of that. And once you understand that, now you got a starting point. Without it, not much of a starting point. You're doing a lot of guessing, doing a lot of testing, and hoping something sticks.
Let's turn the corner for just a minute, because I know you really have been into the websites. We talked about landing pages and stuff. And I don't know, do you have a formula, though, for helping business owners, get leads that convert more into clients?
Yes. The quick word is yes. Everybody has a website. And it's, 95% of the websites you go to need help, right? They're just not logical. They they promote what that business is. They usually got, like tech talk or, jargon in there that people don't understand. That usually doesn't address the person's problem, whatever that problem is. And the solutions are really tough to find other than I do this, buy something. And so increasing business is a simple three-step process. It really is simple. It's attraction, conversion, and retention. That's it. Websites fall into the conversion category. So whether if it's offline or online conversion, the sales process, that's what it is. It's a sales process. So specifically, anybody's website needs to follow a predetermined visitor navigation and sales process. So to do that, you have to understand the mindset of the person who's visiting the website. Now, if you're a business owner, and I'll ask you, if a client calls you up or they come into your place of business, and they're looking for something, more than likely, you have a sales process. Like, what questions do they ask you? What questions do you ask them? What are their concerns? What's the criteria on which they will base their decision? Is there any follow-up material that you need or should be getting to that prospect? So all of that makes up your sales process. Now, does your website mimic the same sales process? So you can't talk to them directly, of course, unless you install a chat box, and even then, it doesn't help if the prospect can't navigate your website in a logical order, or you need to have copy and layout of the website to follow a logical navigation and sales process in language that addresses their needs, their wants, and desires. So they've come there for a reason. They want to solve their problem. So it's up to your job now to understand the questions that they're going to be asking, address those questions. It's up to you to position yourself as a knowledgeable expert in your field. It's up to you to capture their contact information, because usually it's not a one-and-done sale. It's not, I'm on this website, I'm going to buy this stuff. It's usually, I'm looking and I'm going to go to a number of different websites, and then I'll decide. And so your website can't be like everybody else's website. Your website can't be offering the same type of language and solutions that other websites are offering. You have to set yourself apart, and you have to position yourself as the expert. So there's a lot of things you have to do. Does your website have Google reviews on it? Like at one time, years ago, you used to have to have reviews on your website. Now people, they don't believe your reviews on your website because too many people lied about it. They believe Google reviews. They'll believe, like any type of review sites out there, like Expedia or something like that has reviews. And so do you get reviews, and do you link it to Google reviews? Do you get reviews to link it to Google reviews? Because that's a system. So all of this is a system, getting reviews, getting on Google reviews so that you can sell more. But if you can capture the people's contact information by offering them something, which is usually help or offer. To give you an example, I was dealing with a dentist, and he had an offer that was first-time patients. We set up a system where they were getting x-rays, they were getting consultation, they were getting this, they were getting that, and it was all for like $59 or $69, regular $239. He would get 40 of those opt-ins every single month like clockwork. And so of those 40, he would convert approximately 25 of those. No, not 20, 15 of those. And he'd have 25 left that didn't convert within the first 30 days. So what we did is we set up an automated follow-up system for those 25 that didn't convert. And over the course of 12 months of sending them an email out once a month, we converted half of those again. So we converted another 12 to 13 over the next 12 months. So if you're bringing in 40 new leads on this one offer every single month, that's almost 500 leads a year. You're converting, 30%, 40% of those, plus you're converting them on a long-term basis. So you're getting more than 50% conversion for those. And you've got email addresses that you can still email market, and you can ask for referrals, you can ask for testimonials, you can do all kinds of stuff with that. So there's a ton of things that you can do for a website that will make it a process where people can follow a logical sales and navigation process to get them to do what you want them to do.
Oh, Ron, you are so wise and have so many years of experience in so many industries, but I'm looking at the clock. Never, my friend. It's always, but I can guarantee you there is somebody listening to this who needs your help. Who doesn't want an extra $1 million, from the bullet? And you're not promising a silver bullet in any, but certainly you have the wisdom and the knowledge and the background and of all of this to really guide somebody as long as their mindset is in the right place. As long as they're not saying to Ron, nope, Ron, that won't work. They have to say yes.
Exactly.
So tell me, how is the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, you can email me at ron@srficonsultants.com. So it's ron at srficonsultants.com. And if you send me an email, I will offer anybody on this call a complete business and marketing assessment and analysis for $49, which is regular $497. And that's a way to really pre-qualify yourself and pre-qualify if we can work together. But that's where I will look into your marketing. I will look into what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, and what you're doing now, and give you some suggestions of where you can take it.
So I assume that's either a phone call or a Zoom call?
Yes, it is. Yep.
And is it a couple hours? How long does that take?
Well, once you answer my, 30 to 40 questions, which probably will take you a little bit of time to dig out the information that you should have, then I spend about an hour with you going over the answers to your questions to make sure I understand them fully. Then it takes me a little bit of time, a week to 2 weeks, to start looking into it, looking into your website, looking into what you do, assessing the answers, and then getting back to you, which is about another hour. And at that time, I give you some strategies and ideas for what you can do. And then we see if this is a right fit for you and if it's a right fit for me. Sometimes it's just not viable for me to work with some clients. They'd be wasting their money hiring me because they really don't want to do anything. And sometimes they don't want to work with me after they've been talking to me. So it's helpful either way. And even if they didn't like what I had to say and they didn't think it had value, I would gladly refund their $49.
Well, that is a very generous offer. And who in the world wouldn't want your kind of expertise? That's for sure.
Well, thank you.
So, Ron, thank you for being on the call, giving of your time, giving of your knowledge, giving of your ideas and tips. I mean, goodness gracious, I've been writing like I'm a man right here myself. So thank you so much for being on today's show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. You've always been a good friend.
Yeah. So this is Nina Hershberger saying go out and make it a great day.
Thank you for listening to Megabucks Radio with Nina Hershberger. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or to listen to past episodes, visit megabucksradio.com.